Welcome to part 8 of the Sonic Adventure 2 Let's Play, and we're going to be ending off the hero side story. So, just for a spoiler warning, I'm going to be ending off with the credits, because, I kind of want to show them off, and the fact I want to make this video much longer. Okay, so now we have a second battle with Eggman, and as you're seeing, he's doing a special attack, which he'll fire a bunch of homing missiles. Be careful with that, radioactive tube. Well, because View Destroyer has a large blast radius, just like an internal engine, and he'll also do that. A giant laser, which will pretty much sap away a big majority of your health. Luckily, and since I actually beat him right at the brink of death, how awesome am I? But what about Sonic? It goes, oh, what's this? Yep. Again, by the power of an ass pole, Sonic knows chaos control through a fake emerald. No build-up whatsoever. Don't you love it when games do that when it comes to story? Or anything that has a plot in general? That's one of the biggest things. One of the biggest is what should I say, controversial moments, except it's not really controversial. Well, either way, it's one of Sonic's most recognizable moments for the wrong reasons. But anyway, now we have Final Rush, the final stage in the hero side story. Unlike the previous stages though, Final Rush is actually heavy on the multiple pathways. So, and it's pretty much my favorite stage in the game, personally. I mean, I like City Escape, I like Green Forest, Pyramid Cave's okay, Crazy Gadget's okay. Hey, but Final Rush, I don't know. To me, this one just definitely sticks out. As you can see, it's very happy with the grind rails. Well, you don't have to worry about falling off a whole lot when it comes to, loss of balance. There's actually gonna be another rail grinding happy level, well, in the Dark Side story. However, I always find it easier to fall off in that stage than in this stage, because really, I guess it makes sense because you're in space, there's no gravity whatsoever, or at the very least the gravity is low. Also, as I failed to show off here, what I mean by, you can also take massive shortcuts in this stage. I passed by that circular grinding section. You can actually skip a majority of it by jumping off the platform and then landing on the grind rail below, because the bottomless pit is actually not programmed. Because the bottomless pit programming is actually not programmed much higher here than where the grind rail is going to be. So you can take massive shortcuts. That's all you want. And like I said, this stage is really heavy on multiple paths. This is level design I look for in a Sonic game, whether it's a legitimate game, a fan game, or even a Generations ROM hack. Heck, I always enjoy stages that have multiple pathways, which is why I'm saying right now, yes, I have played the SA Generations mod for Sonic Generations. I'm just gonna say this without question. Windy Valley is my favorite stage because of the alternate path, because the amount of multiple pathways you can take. Seriously, the paths you can take to the Gold Ring are endless. That's good level design, I gotta say. Final Rush, you have these types of grind rails where it's on a wall. Like, the best way I do it is to homing attack them just so I have enough momentum. What else? When it comes to challenge, it has at least a decent challenge. And you're gonna die at least a few times here, but not to the point where it's stressful. Well, so for a final level, at least in the hero side story, I approve. With these kind of platforms, I generally just use the bounce attack, because I'm not really sure if my jump is high enough to make to the higher platforms. So I always use the bounce attack. When it comes to the rails themselves, if they have the green X, you can actually jump off them, and you'll do a trick, kind of like the ramps in City Escape. And we're actually going to be getting another upgrade. And so I take this rail. Instead of taking this rail right here, I jump off right here. I land on this platform that has a rocket. So I launch myself over here. Then you simply just follow the platforms. There's right here. You take the grinding rail up here, which leads us to the Mystic Melody. Now the Mystic Melody, this is pretty much an upgrade that everybody has. It's really for the sake of completing the third mission, and you use it on these statues. And as I saw, it'll unlock a new path for you. Again, you pretty much use it to find the Chao, which is in the third mission only. You can still use it. I'm pretty sure there are at least multiple statues who's in these levels. One statue is really intended for finding the Chao, but there's also another statue where you can actually take a shortcut. So if you have the Mystic Melody, be on the lookout for those statues, and it might help you take a shortcut. Just be careful with the shortcuts you take, though. It also might hinder your progress. If you're not skilled enough, that is. God, I wish this level was in Generations. At least as a DLC level. Why hasn't there been additional DLC for Generations? Just why? Generations just felt so empty, you know? At least there's ROM hacks, which, well, on the bright side, at least there's hacks where it'll expand where the lifespan will be expanded. Another reason why Sonic 06 should have had a PC release. Well, not to increase the lifespan, but, you know, hacks. Now, well. Oh. This famous cutscene right here, it's been remade into many iterations. Well, at least I've seen a Gmod version. But hey, at least we're gonna have one of the most memorable fights in Sonic history. It's been brought back in Generations. Greatly improved. Let's go. Oh, and alright. Okay, so now we have the final boss in the hero story. Well, this is also the final boss in the Dark Path, but it pretty much depends on what character. So, the final boss of the hero story, Shadow. Oh, this is actually very different from when he faced Shadow early on. And we're now running on a track, which I'm going to say right now, no, it's not endless. It'll loop, and you'll fall to your death. Now, why would you fall to your death if it'll loop? Because, well, the track itself will actually fall apart, so you can't stay on that one piece for too long. And as you can see, there are trails of rings that you can use the Lightspeed Dash on. And although it'll just end up screwing me over in the end, in some instances where I'm trying to do the somersault. What I was doing right there is that I'm spin dashing. But here's the thing. After spin dashing for at least, I think, 3 hits, Shadow will realize that he'll actually jump. So you kind of have to be aware. So he's aware of your movements. Well, I don't want to be redundant, but after you use the spin dash, you just gotta rely on other strategies. By faking them out, Oh, and or you can use the somersault, where I tried to use the somersault, but I accidentally keep doing the light dash. I also end up trying to use the light speed dash on him, but the light speed attack, I just really don't recommend it because you have to build up its power, and part of the bridge will collapse, and you constantly have to homing attack. I really don't recommend that. Funny enough, that kind of boss fight will actually be reused in Sonic Rush, in a sense, where you're fighting Blaze. Not that it's any good, mind you. In fact, it's actually one of my only downsides about Rush, despite the fact that I didn't really complete it. Although I have my reasons, why I shouldn't really expect a Rush playthrough for a long time, because I don't have a capture card for my 3DS. Another reason, though, is that I have to switch to my DSi, because do you know how hard it is to button mash on the 3DS? And thirdly, my copy is a little messed up. Oh, I'm trying to beat Sonic, but for whatever reason, I'm not. You see, there's a part where you're trying to, where you butt heads, because you clash. You're just running, but for some reason my game will crash. So yeah, don't expect a Rush playthrough anytime soon. But that is it for the hero side story of Sonic Adventure 2. I'm just gonna spoil this right now. That last part where the Eclipse Cannon is destroyed, no, that is not canon. And we will see why in the Dark Path. Although I am gonna let the credits roll and at least give out my final thoughts, just like Adventure 1. Okay, so the hero side story. Overall, it was enjoyable. I do like the Sonic stages, I should say. But when the first few stages, the first stage of the mech levels, it was a pretty good first stage, but then it just dives bomb to suck by the time you get to Mission Street. And with Knuckles treasure hunting levels, while it has a better start with 2 stages, 2 or 3, the last 2 stages, and I guess Pumpkin Hill, because I honestly think it goes off into a pattern, are just so freaking huge and confusing. And really doesn't help that the mech and treasure hunting levels are overshadowed. Just overshadow the Sonic stages. That's what you play a Sonic game for. And it gets worse later on. Well, actually, no. I think this is where it's at its worst, with those 6 barely making it. Because the side characters, they come out so infrequently. But let's not get into that game. The song here is It Doesn't Matter, once again by Tony Harnell. I like it, and I honestly like it just as much as the SA1 version. Unknown for Me is once again by Marlon Sanders, and Believe in Myself, I honestly don't remember the artist. But that is it for the hero side story. Alright, so you can now select scenes from hero side story. Come on, move on. I'm running out of commentary. Bad grammar. Level 4 have been unlocked. Okay, so we now get a little preview. That's what I like about this game, actually. So we're gonna learn. Okay, so in the next part, guys, we are gonna be doing the Dark Side story. So I am GameMan5804, and you guys have a great day. Long live the Eggman Empire.